Hi YouTube, it's Dave here at Wood Stuff Workshop. Just a quick vlog to let you know what's going on, because I haven't been doing a video just at the minute because I've got loads of stuff on at the minute that I'm doing. So let me show you for a start. Got all the floor ripped up and there, big hole in the floor, in the shed floor. Because what I've been doing is running a cable from the metal shed right out there all the way across here, so I had to dig a trench. What I've got is I'm tidying the wiring up, so I've put 6mm cable coming right from the metal shed through out there all the way into here to feed this workshop. And what I'm doing now, the way I've managed to get the cable through, that is about 20 meters, 22 meters of this conduit. And what to do, the way I got it to go through, so there's no joins in it right from one end to the other. What I did was get an earplug, because I had to figure a way of doing it. Got an earplug, got some fishing line, and I blew this. I put a bit of WD-40 in the conduit and had fishing line going through the middle of here, one of these with a plastic bit on the end, just stop it pulling through, and I shot this through the line. I put the conduit all out on the grass in a straight line and shot this with the air blower on the compressor with the fishing line, and managed to get it to shoot all the way through and out the other end. So then I was able to tie some big thick string on and pull that through, and then tie the fix the wire on and pull the wire through. It was a bit of a job, but I managed to get there in the end. I know electricians would say what you want to be doing is using the armoured cable, but I'm just using what I've got. So it's 6mm and going through the conduit, but it's better than what's feeding it at the minute. This in the metal shed, you see, I've already got a kiln wired in that I wired in on a circuit breaker in the consumer unit, and that had all been checked and passed after I did it. It was electricians checked it and they passed it. But what I'm doing now is just fixing a 13 amp, so the cable that I've got running all the way to the metal shed, I'm having a 13 amp plug on it, not 13 amp, a 16 amp plug on it, sorry, and fitting a socket in there, a industrial 16 amp socket with a switch. So I'm going to have this 16 amp socket that can be plugged into power here, and on the odd time that I use the kiln, I ain't used the kiln for ages, I'm going to have a socket on that as well, a 16 amp plug socket on the kiln wire, so I can plug that in if I want it. Obviously I can't use both at the same time, but that's the plan, because the kiln's 15 amp, so it should be okay with the 16 amp socket. And if I haven't been blowing 13 amp, any problems running off 13 amp to here, I'll be okay with the 16 amp line, because like I say, this is 6mm cable, twin and earth, so that can take quite a few amps, and the breaker switch at the other end's 20 amp, and we're going to be running a 16 amp, so the 16 amp socket, so that's the weak link in the, you know, in the unit, because the line's coming all the way to this consumer unit here. This has got two 10 amp trip switches on it, breaker switches, but I've only been using one up to yet, and then just having the other one as a security light. But I might feed a bit more into them, split them up a bit, so there's not as much on each of the breaker switches. So in all that wiring, the weak link is going to be the 16 amp plugs, but that 16 amp, this isn't going to be using 16 amps because I don't use electric heaters or anything out here because I've got my gas and everything. Like I say, it's been okay on 13 amp. And now I just wanted to tidy it up. This is buried down in the ground. What is it? It's about 14, 15 inches deep. But it's okay, it'll be alright where it is, because nobody's going to dig there, because it's the walkway, pathway, and it's covered in astroturf as well. And it's dug down, and you know, a bit after the conduit I've got warning tape as well. So but like I say, if I move away from here or anything, it'll just be unplugged and disconnected from everything anyway. This workshop will probably be took down and I'd be taking that away anyway. So it should be okay. It's better than what it was. But yeah, so I'm up to that. I've got loads of work still doing with that. I've been getting rid of loads of branches, chopping them up, because there's a bit of a area down the bottom of the garden that's got trees and stuff, and I've had to be chopping all that up and tidying it up. I was getting a bit of a fire hazard with all the twigs and stuff everywhere. So I've been chopping that up and making it a bit cleaner. I've got to sort out that floor when I've figured out how I'm running this cable. Now I'm going to be digging a big trench underneath the shed bit and have it going across to the wall, all out the way, so there's going to be no way of damaging anything. As well as that, I found this belt sander in one of my sheds, and the reason, because I forgot, you know, it'd been there that long that I didn't know whether it worked or not, and then realised that it does work. All that happened was the belt snapped. So I've ordered 2 new belts, but there was a bit missing off the here when this was cast. It looked like it was, when this bit was cast, it looked like there was a bubble in there, and it was making one of these splines a bit sharp and horrible. But I don't know if that's what made the belt break in the first place, but I've used some of this that putty stuff, twin pack putty that you mix, and it goes rock hard, just to fill in the hole that was in there that was sharp. So all I've got to do is just sand that off a bit, and then I can, when the belt turns up, I should be able to get that going again. So there's a belt sander that I didn't know, I forgot I had. So hopefully that'll sort that out. I'm still waiting on the bearings turning up. I'm still over here, look, still doing the lathe, so I'm still doing that video, the restoration video. But I've got all this off, and I'm waiting for the bearings to turn up to carry on with that, and then I carry on making that video. But really it was just to let you know that I'm not just sitting down with my feet up. I'm busy doing like this work, doing the trenches and everything's been back-breaking work, but I'm getting there. Making a mess of the workshop again, look, stuff chucked all over. But anyway, I hope you're all staying safe, and I'll be back to hopefully getting some videos sorted very shortly. So take care, and I'll see you soon.